Hi, I'm Susan Evans, and this is my Ancient Rome unit study. And since this is highly annoying because it doesn't fit me, I will take it off. Okay, before I get into the Roman time period, I will clarify something I had in my Ancient Greece unit study. I accidentally put these two books in the Ancient Greece bin, and they're actually Ancient Rome, as the word toga should have tipped me off. And I've also read both the books since then. I told you that I hadn't read them yet, but they came highly recommended by Homeschool conservative catalogs. And now I know why. Okay, I'll start with this one. The Ides of April. During the first chapter, there is someone falls down and splats dead with a pool of blood. Okay, I thought that was a bit needless manslaughter, but they had to establish that the slave was going to save the master's life because later on, you know, that has something to do with the story. Now I thought maybe, I don't know, some other thing could have fallen from the sky. That's fine. So I thought that was needless manslaughter. But and then during the second or third chapter, we have somebody who is murdered, and yes, so this is like a murder mystery. Now, the person who was murdered also had a pool of blood. I don't know why they had to explain about the pool of blood. Even though there's two bloody scenes in here, I give it a thumbs up. And the reason why is I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was very exciting, very interesting. I wanted to turn the page. I have to admit that the first chapter, I found it hard to get into the characters, and the language was dense and very flowery. But take it from me, it's worth reading once you get past that first couple chapters. Once you're into it, it is very good. So thumbs up for that one. And I withdraw my thumb altogether from this one. This I would rubber stamp boy book. Okay, it also comes highly recommended by conservative homeschool, you know, catalogs. And this one has like a fist fight at the beginning. They do get in trouble for it, but it also has the word, a substitute word for donkey that has the word Jack in front of it, and it also has the word shut up and, you know, you idiot, and those kinds of things. So if that's not acceptable in your homeschool, then I would not buy it. However, I am a cool mom of boys, and there is a goal that I have for my boys, and that is to have the gut feeling, I love reading. And this is so funny. My 9-year-old boy, as he was reading it, he giggled and, "Look, Mom," he showed me. And the whole premise is that the words "Caius is a dumbbell" was written on the wall of Athena's temple. So, yeah, so if you're upset about any of that, then don't buy it, but it is super funny, and it is clean. So, like I said, I am not going to read it to them because I don't want to promote such nonsense. I'm constantly reeling them in with their self-control and goofiness. If you have boys, you know exactly what I'm saying. However, it's good for reading just on their own. Okay, now, Story of the World is my basic timeline that I'm using in all of this. And the whole, almost half the book is about Rome. So it's the rise of Rome all the way to the end of the book. So it's quite substantial. I am also continuing the cards on ancient Greece and Rome. The song is still dorky. It does not grow on you like the one for this. These are awesome. Okay, this is from the same company, Greenleaf, I think. And this one is The Life of Christ, which is also during the Roman Empire. And this one grows on you. It has like calypso music, sort of. It makes you feel like you're at the beach. And it says The Life of Christ in chronological order. And so I think that's really cool. Thumbs up for this one. Thumbs sort of up for this. I haven't laminated them, but because I didn't think it was worth it. Okay, this is Famous Men of Rome, History for the Thoughtful Child. This is really good. There are lots of very important characters from ancient Rome, and I want my boys to know those, and my girl to know them too. The Bronze Bow, highly, highly recommend the Bronze Bow. When I was a teacher at a Christian private school, I taught the bronze bow as part of Bible class when I taught the book of Matthew. And it is fiction. It's historical fiction. It takes place during the Roman Empire, and it's in the city of Jerusalem. And it has a lot of the rich history of the Jewish people. And it has, like, you know, all their culture and everything like that. And I love Israel. And so for that reason, it's won awards and stuff. This is like, if you trash all the rest, this is like my top pick. That's what I used last time when my kids were young. I just read this only, and I had all the other hands-on things. But this is the only thing I did. So that's how good it is. Now, I do not recommend learning Latin. If you can learn Spanish, that's better, and you actually learn the Latin roots that way, and it's a live language. Rummy roots I talked about in the ancient Greece unit study because it has Greek and Latin roots. And what I've done is I played it with my kids. They were actually the pre-Rummy roots is that you have the English word and then the Greek or Latin root, and it's like a Go Fish game. And so there's 3 different decks, and the kids enjoyed that, and we played that 3 different days for each of them until they mastered them. And then the real Rummy Roots game is that you put 2 Latin or Greek roots together to form English words. That one is much more difficult, and it wasn't as fun as the pre-Rummy roots. But I used this basically as curriculum. It was fun. The kids enjoyed it. My 5-year-old needed my help, but the 3 boys were fine. I have a 7, 9, and 10-year-old. My 10-year-old liked the real Rummy roots better, and so if you're working with high school, then you could just go straight into the real Rummy roots. So here we have other books you can see on the floor. I like a lot of pictures that get the kids excited and interested in that time period, because then they learn and learn and learn about that time period. Another thing we're going to do is, if you look over here, this is white clay, and I bought a big old thing of clay for my 10-year-old. He is an artist, and I'm going to have him do a head like of Julius Caesar or something, one of those busts, you know, for a hands-on art project. And then I'm going to divide this into 3, and then my younger kids can do smaller ones, only because they're not artists, and I don't know what they would do with such a huge hunk of self-hardening white clay, which I'm going to use. And then I don't know if I recommend this or not. I haven't used it yet, but these are little project blocks that are kind of like styrofoam. And look, there's this Colosseum that they can build, and so I thought that was a fun hands-on thing. But you could almost do that with like with the peanuts that you get in a box when you order something. You could stab it together with like a toothpick or something, and then that would be free. Or you could do it with blocks if you have blocks that are that many. Okay, let's see, mosaics. I've done mosaics in the past. One of the mosaics that I've done is a stepping stone, and I loved the simplicity of mixing the water with the cement, and the kids just placed the tiles in it. It was so fun. But when I put it outside to as stepping stones to our fort and stepped on it, they came off. So if you know how to seal it, please comment below this video, because I would love to actually do that again and seal it properly. But as it is, it's only ornamental, and who would put a slab of cement on their wall? It weighs way too much. It will fall down and bash your foot. So I don't recommend it. But what I'm going to do instead is here's some mosaic tiles, and we're going to get some glue for tiles or for ceramics, and then they're going to do a design on here and lay it out, and then glue each one down. So then we can have a mosaic, you know, like Roman mosaics. Another thing you can do that we've done in the past is little foam stickers. These are our stickers, and you can actually do mosaics that way. It's super, super easy. Even tiny kids can do this and enjoy it. Well, not tiny, that would be a choking hazard, but like age 4 and above. Here's some Italian money, because I've been to Italy. Something else that I really liked was Ben-Hur. There are points in it that are boring, but I had my kids watch it. It is the Roman time period, and one of the things that really perked up my boys was this one scene that had two ships, and it had catapults where they were going, and it was really exciting. Another part that's really exciting is the chariot race, and they were going boom, 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 you know, with the 4 horses, and they were just going, and they have the we might actually make a one of those chariots because they're really cool, and so they were going forward, and of course there were crashes everywhere, and men were being thrown up and then trampled by the horses, but it was not gory. So thumbs up for no blood whatsoever. Because it's so long though, it's like almost 4 hours, like 3.5 hours. I would recommend doing it in half-hour segments. What we did is watched half an hour while they were eating lunch for a couple of weeks, and so it's easy to watch that way. And so it helps to set that time period and get into that time period. This is The Young Carthaginian by G.A. Henty and is read by Jim Weiss. Jim Weiss is a very good reader, and this is really a high school level kind of a book. It's boy adventure, and it's about Hannibal, who rides on these big elephants across the Swiss Alps. It's really cool. And then the other thing about it is that it has battle tactics in it. And if you don't have sand and toy soldiers like I showed you for my Greek unit study, you can do battle tactics either on a white erase board and like show the river and how Hannibal was on one side and then the enemy was on the other side, and Hannibal was taunting the enemy saying no, you can't get us or whatever, and made the enemy get all upset for their honor. And so the enemy swam across the river and got their armor like all wet and stuff. And then he had some of his people go behind, and then they came around like a boa constrictor and crushed them all. And they were weaker because they were all weighed down with the water. And so it's just really exciting for boys. If you don't have a white erase board, you can get a shower curtain that's clear. You know, the liner, and you can use a white erase marker on that, on a like a white or light something underneath it, so you could use that as well. So that's really fun, and actually you could do it with younger kids. Obviously my kids are younger. They get into it and really like it. Here we have our young folks Josephus. Josephus lived during the Roman Empire. When we did the whole history of the world, and we finished early, and I had several months before I wanted to start the history of the world again. Since we had a few months with nothing to do, I decided to study Israel. And this is what we did. The first half of the book is basically the same as the Bible. It has some things in there that Josephus had access to, historical documents and stuff, and even though it's not the inspired word of God, it adds detail about like Moses' life and stuff that's kind of interesting and helps you understand that time period better. The second half of the book is the Jewish wars. It's dry and boring, but I read it to the kids anyway, and you can get into it. There's this one time, okay, here's Jerusalem, and then Josephus is in Jerusalem, okay? And here's the wall of Jerusalem, and the Romans are attacking the city of Jerusalem. And then the Romans were building a siege ramp, and so they kept building it up, and then Josephus kept telling the Jews to build it up further. So it's like like this. It was like a cartoon, and my boys just laughed, and it was so funny. Anyway, that's part of this. If you can get into it, try to see it from a boy's point of view. That helps. If you're a homeschool mom and you hate wars and it's really dry and boring, just kind of see it from the battle tactics and try to get into it like that. I am not going to have a feast for ancient Rome. I might have like an Italian feast, but I don't think they had Italian food back then. They probably had more regular food, but I do have the same tunic that we made for Bible costume in 5 minutes. That one we used in all the time periods so far. A toga, all you have to do is roll up one of the sleeves so that you have a bare arm, and then that's it, you know, so it's really cool and easy. You can also use towels, like a white towel, to drape over and then kind of bind it up over here. So you can do a lot of really fun stuff with ancient Rome, and I think that's it. Thank you very much.